And I apologize if I'm not talking a whole lot during this war, but the battles require a lot of my focus, and I have to make sure there's not a specific location that requires extra attention. Fuck you, bastards. Intellectuals support the Kuomintang. During our great patriotic war to reunite China, you're going to support a terrorist group. Because that's what the Imperial government basically views the Kuomintang as. They are a terrorist organization, is the view that's held by most members of the Chinese Imperial government. That's all the Kuomintang are to them, a terrorist organization. It doesn't have to make logical sense or even be true, but it's what they think. Like, to those of you who need a decent analogy of their beliefs on this point, then try this one on for size. The view that that most citizens have of the Kuomintang in this universe, as I'm framing it, is not all that dissimilar to the way most humans in Mass Effect aligned with that support the Alliance viewed Cerberus. They're just a bunch of terrorists stirring up trouble. That's the way they're viewed. I'm not saying it's true, I'm not saying it's not true, but it's their view. Reaching the front lines in a bunch of different locations, Tankette research is done. And one of our leaders has become a mountaineer. So, since that research is done, we can now research 1928 tanks, soon 1934, and we are getting very close to having modern equipment. So, how goes the war effort, you might be asking? Very, very well, actually. We've encountered little in the way of resistance thus far. And so many of the fronts are collapsing before our invincible army that it's looking to be less of a war and more of a mop-up operation. Okay, you attack there, you support the attack. And now, these 3 divisions here. I didn't want to risk attacking with merely 5, but now we can launch our offensive with some support and be more confident of victory. And I can also launch several more offensives. Okay, let's actually check here. We hold a vast number of victory points already, but a number of them are pretty deep in the enemy country. So chances are I'll end up occupying most, if not all, of the Republic territory before we win the war. Not that I mind. I mean, I love warfare in this game. We get to fight and smash our way through the enemy, and it is a lot of fun. Like, as much as I have personally in the past complained about the about the combat system in this game, most of it being things that are just a result of the age of the game. Anyways, as much as I complain, I really do love the combat, just the direct and manual, for lack of a better phrase, nature of it. And how I can just be so direct and hands-on with everything. Like, it depends on the country that I'm playing as, but in a lot of cases, I love the fact that I'm effectively forced to pay direct attention to what's going on, and I can't just leave some arbitrary AI or general to manage things. Bulgaria has gone to war against Romania because of a revolt. Anyways, it may just be a consequence of the game, but I really kind of enjoy how I'm forced to pay direct attention to every single front. It makes it a bit more challenging and kind of harder to manage a large-scale war in a lot of cases, but in Hearts of Iron, and especially in Kaiserreich, I don't find that I fight a whole lot of large-scale wars. It's not a thing that happens all that often, so it's not really a concern of mine. In something like Hearts of Iron 4, it just feels like there are more large-scale wars, so the automation is a lot more useful. I'm talking in terms of the Kaiserreich mod, by the way. I don't mean in the base game. But a lot of the countries I play as, there does tend to be a rather smaller focus and a thinner, if you want to use that expression, a less expansive front. So, it's reasonable to expect you to be attacking in only one location at a time, rather than having to engage directly and fight on half a dozen fronts at once. Like, in this game, if I was playing as the United States, I would have to be waging war in the Pacific and North Africa and the Italian Peninsula and liberating northern France, as well as directly commanding every single one of my navies. If you're fighting on a massive front like that, it could be pretty tedious, but a lot of the nations I play as in Kaiserreich, they're a lot smaller and a lot more focused, so in that regard I prefer the manual control and deep and direct action that you have to take in Darkest Hour, as opposed to the automated stuff that happens in Hearts of Iron 4. I mean, if I played more... I still love Hearts of Iron 4, I want to be honest about that. I'm not saying that I think this is a superior game. It definitely has its flaws, but in terms of the way that I generally play in Kaiserreich, which to me, the way I play in Kaiserreich is the only thing that matters, because like 99% of the Hearts of Iron games I played have been in Kaiserreich. The other 1%, actually it's closer to 95%. 4% being in some other mod that I found and liked, and the last 1% being the vanilla game. So, as fun as Hearts of Iron 4 vanilla warfare and gameplay can be, I generally prefer Kaiserreich's alternate history to anything in the vanilla game. Sorry if you don't agree, that's just the way I like things. And we've got the results of our infrastructure investments. Oh, that was infrastructure, not industry. My bad. I didn't realize that wasn't boosting our industry. Not the cleverest thing in the world, but what can you do? everyone's attacking, please? Some people in the Republic of China are apparently stupid enough to actually try to attack us when we haven't lost a single battle so far this war. Aw, that's so cute. You think you have a snowball's chance in hell of winning? Excuse me for a moment while I laugh mockingly at you. I needed a good laugh, and the sight of someone in the Republic of China actually authorizing an attack against the Empire's forces, it did the job. That was good for a laugh. It really was. They actually think they have a chance. That's so adorable. It really is. It's just cute that they think they can win. And again, we are literally just steamrolling the Republic. They have literally no chance of victory. And that will continue to be the case as we march to our inevitable conquest of the Republic of China. Establish ourselves as the true leaders of the only Chinese state. And now, one unit down there apparently has no mission set. Okay. Actually... other one then. If I get it right that time. Yeah, the both of you can attack like that. Engaging in a couple of places. Cyan Tang. We're throwing some additional divisions into the fight over there. And we actually suffered a defeat. Ain't that just so novel? Defeat. After all this time. Bloody took them long enough, didn't it? So now... let's keep on at it. And I have a few more divisions that can be deployed, but it's not necessary right now. We are just curb stomping them. It's like they aren't even here. We're just throwing our men into the fight. And they are obliterating the enemy. It's not even a fair fight, really. And as a result, I am severely tempted to just pull a few people back, but I'm not going to. Today, February the 1st, begins the 7-day-long celebrations of the Chinese New Year. This will be the Year of the Rabbit. The rabbit is one of the most delicate animals among all 12 animals. Rabbits are usually kind and sweet, and of course popular people. Nobody ignores them, for they are good company and know how to make the best of themselves. National Descent -1. Prepare the celebrations at the stage. That's unfortunate that we got the Year of the Rabbit in the midst of a war to reunify China. Honestly, if I'd been able to pick which year this would be, I would have preferred it to be the Year of the Dragon, because victory, glory, conquest, that whole thing, it just strikes me that it would fit better as a dragon than a rabbit. We've destroyed several more divisions of the Republic, and there's a tiny pocket of a country left. As we descend on what's left of them, they literally have no chance. More divisions being destroyed. We're just hitting them with such force, they're not able to retreat. They haven't got a prayer. And we will smash into their capital. As they have maybe 1 or 2 divisions left everywhere we're attacking. And we are hitting them with like 9 or 10. Basically, they just don't have the forces that they need to be able to effectively defend themselves, and we're tearing into them. It is glorious. It's just glorious. They do not have a prayer. And I don't see a problem with that. More divisions being annihilated. Ganzhou there. Okay. Once you win that battle, I'm gonna... Yes, by this point, we are sitting on the edge of victory and have commenced our offensive against their last victory point, or one of their last victory points. Ganzhou and Guanzhou here are both being attacked, and both are victory points. Once we take them, this war is over. Mechanized agriculture has been researched. You'll forgive me, I hope, if I'm more invested in this war we're currently fighting than some agriculture research. Beyond assigning you the last one to get our agricultural technology up to modern standards, I mean. Beyond that, the war is more important to me than that research right now. Victory there. We will continue smashing into the enemy everywhere. Ganzhou there is the last place we need to take. But now there's been a revolt in central China. I don't know how that happened. I have 6 divisions sitting in the queue waiting to be deployed. I should have waited for them to get their strength back, no matter. I will keep them there, and then we'll put down that uprising soon enough. More divisions that can be deployed. Just the one more, of course. And now the Republic's forces are getting desperate, trying to attack us. They don't have a prayer. Victory against the rebels, too. They have been crushed. Now, Bulgaria annexes Romania, and victory is inevitable. All we need now is for our troops to march into Ganzhou, and what remains of the Republic of China will cease to exist. And now, Ganzhou is ours. And the Republic has nothing left. They have a tiny pocket of a country, isolated inside our great nation. We will annex the Republic of China. Ultimate victory is ours. Soured only with a couple of idiot rebels sitting around inside our country. And now, some minor redeployments are in order. We'll get a few troops sitting on the borders with all the legation cities, provinces. And then prepare to go after them should they refuse our demand of full reunification. Then, of course, we'll start parking a boatload of troops along the Japanese border in case of funny business. Now, we need only march into that revolting province, and China will truly be at peace again. Now, no. What next? Medicine. We need to improve our medicine for more manpower and more manpower recovery. I'm going to focus on that next. I'm shifting my focus around a little bit, but I don't really have much of an option. What with how backwards China starts out, we have to focus on a lot of things. Let's see. Romania have been made a puppet and renounced their claims on Bulgarian lands. Prove light cruiser is done. Let's research battleships. Christ save us. Look at our fucking battleship and submarine technology. It's freaking 19th century. That's how obsolete our capital ships are. It's a goddamn good thing we don't have to fight a major power at sea right now. We would get our butts so thoroughly freaking kicked, it would not even be funny. It wouldn't even be a case of our butts getting kicked. It would be a case of they give our fleet an irritated look and the entire fleet sinks. That is how obsolete our ships are right now. Fucking hell. It is a goddamn nightmare. Student uprising. Students demand democracy. They block the main roads into the major cities and are occupying them. Let's use the army to quell them. +5 to our dissent. Great. Absolutely fucking spectacular. Well, for now, let's save the game again. And start getting a few troops on the Japanese border just to discourage them from funny business. Germany once a new trade agreement. But why would the German economy have been hurt from taking the South? I see a problem with that. Germany hadn't had the South since the Republic of China's uprising. I don't get it. But I am so sorry, Germany. But at this point, I don't think we need you anymore. You were basically our shield against the Japanese for the longest time, but we no longer require your aid in that matter, so no, you can fuck right off. Imposing economic sanctions. With our refusal to agree with their trade proposals, the German government has imposed sanctions on us. Well, there's really only one option. You will pay for this in territory. But anyways, as I was saying, Germany will pay for this in territory. Let's see. That's a plus to dissent, apparently. I wonder why. Well, everything is a plus to dissent. So I'll take it. They'll pay for it in territory and 2 days, and we'll see what they say. And we automatically get Germany's colonial possessions on the Chinese border. That is to say, we get all of Germany's territories that are rightfully Chinese out of that. So I think that's a win, honestly. We had to take a bigger hit in terms of dissent, but I can make up for that by massively boosting our consumer goods production. It's gonna really hit our production for the time being, but I don't really need more troops right now, because I'll be moving all my industry to the top of the queue anyways, and beneath that the aircraft. But we just gotten a rather significant event pop up. On March 19th, 1939, it is 100 years since the Opium War. 100 years ago, the imperialist British attacked the then great Chinese nation. We will not be beaten like that again. Best relations with Canada, and national dissent is changed by plus 1%. God, our dissent is really crawling up there. Yes. And now... and then move the aircraft to the bottom. Yeah, let's start our industrialization project. So, now that we got that out of the way, and Germany has not decided to declare war on us or anything, let's actually see how they respond to it. I cannot afford a war halfway around the world, and the Qing are moving troops into our ports. Very smart of them, indeed. The legation cities. What I want out of them is a full reunification, but I'm gonna actually read the event first. The legation cities were the richest coastal cities of China, and now they are under foreign control. With the southern provinces in our hands, we should try to regain these lost territories as well. There is, however, a problem, since the treaty ports, as they're called, contain significant foreign investments and capital, and it may be unwise to antagonize all the major world powers. Well, right now, the Empire is on a bit of a high, seeing as we have reclaimed so much of our old territory, and with the exception of Japan's sphere of influence, as well as the treaty ports and Portugal's little bit, China is back to its old imperial glory. So the Emperor is riding high, and he's going to push things little, with a demand for full reunification. And the leaders of the legation cities have accepted our ultimatum and joined the Empire. They have accepted annexation. Excellent. So now, let us push this just that little bit further. With the status of Macau. It's been hundreds of years since Macau became a Portuguese holding in 1557 by purchasing it from the Qing Emperor of the Ming Dynasty. Now that the south lies in the hands of the Qing once more, the Emperor is considering whether to claim the port of Macau from the Portuguese, or to not interfere with the ownership of the city sold before the rise of the Qing. It most definitely does belong to China. Give me back my city. And now, with the exception of the Fentian Republic, we have our territory back. And I didn't notice this, but we also got a whole boatload of divisions when we annexed the legation cities. So yes, China is indeed flying high. Seize foreign investment, you say? Seize foreign investments. We could seize the investments, seize and compensate. I'll deal with that another time. For now, I am going to redeploy a bunch of divisions onto the Japanese border over here. As I said before, in case of funny business, I'll just call it. Then they can go there. And finally, for the time being, until we can fully reintegrate southern China, I'll need to leave a rather significant garrison in the region to maintain order. Speaking of garrison, the Hong Kong Defense Force can stay where it is. Once we get into April, we'll start to have these troops arrive where we want them. Come on then. The two of you can go on anti-partisan duty, guys can go on anti-partisan duty. Oh, and speaking of which, Major General, have a promotion so you can effectively command your 5 divisions. Now, who's next? That's fine. You can go on anti-partisan duty. Yes, only some of you on it, so I can just assign you all anti-partisan duty. You can have anti-partisan duty as well. Let's check out our revolt map mode. It's fairly large in a few places. My divisions aren't spread out enough. We'll redeploy a few of them around to cover some of the areas with significant unrest, rather than simply having them all in one location. Then you can head over to there. And I'm hoping this will address our problem. Imperial Abyssinia and Ethiopia are having a little civil war. You have fun with that now. You have fun with that. Okay. Still got some revolt risk problems, but those guys should help calm things down a little. We'll redeploy them to the other province that's right beside them. Just to even out the numbers in terms of my border guard. Notice War Tank 3 is done. Let's see. Need basic interwar field artillery for the next tank. And I've unlocked an extra research slot. Let's just see. It's 1939 right now. Okay, sorry about that. The research option I went for was synthetic oil anyways. So, we've got things going pretty well right now. I could attempt to deal with the Fentian Republic through negotiations. And in fact, I probably will do that at first. But I want to give things some time to progress. And our empire has accomplished a significant amount of things. Enough that I think this is a good place to end the recording session. So, this has been DarkPhoenix Gaming, and you have been watching my Let's Play of Kaiserreich Legacy of the Weltkrieg as the Qing Empire. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and share this video with anyone else you think might also like it. Comment down below if you have any tips or suggestions, or you just want to talk about what's happened in the episode. And subscribe to see more like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. See you then, folks. See you then.